Okay, so now I'm in Photoshop. I've got a couple reference images on in my folder. I'm gonna click New File, and I'm just gonna get like a really nice big file. So maybe web large. Even that is not super huge. Is there something? Okay, let's go with Mac Pro. So that's a pretty big file. It'll give me a lot of space to work with. I'll just click Create. And one thing I might do, I'm going to reset the essentials for a second. So mostly, I'm not going to be doing like tons of stuff with color and other properties, but I am going to be using my layers a lot. So one thing that I like to do is take this layers panel, which I can barely even see because of the projector resolution, but I like to put this right here. And so I can really easily access that. I might just like get rid of this other menu. See if I can move that in. And then I just have my layers and I can just work there. And then I have my main artboard here. And before I even really do anything else, I'm going to create a few different folders to put stuff in. So I'm going to save this file. So I'll go to File, Save As. And I'm going to put this in my character design folder and call this cat character. So I remember what this is. And I'm just going to add a few folders here. So I'll have like a reference folder. I'll have a sketching folder. And I'll have a turn around folder. And so this will give me a little bit of a higher degree of control if I want to turn stuff on and off. And let's put our first layer into reference. And then I'll just drag these images on here. So I'll drag this guy in here. And I'll just move it over here. So when I drag an image in, it's in free transform mode, so I can move it around, I can resize it, rotate it if I want to, and then I just hit enter when I'm ready. And then I'll grab my other reference, which is my little astronaut. It's kind of small, so I'm going to size it up. And let's put it like over here. I might even like quickly, one thing that you can do, I'll just do this quickly. I'm going to rasterize this layer. Oops, what happened? There it is. And I'll do a quick object selection and grab my astronaut. So I just use the object select tool and then click on this guy, and that'll make a little selection, and I'll just click mask and get rid of that background. Okay, so now I've got my astronaut and my cat over here. And now I can turn that off and on really easily if I want to. But what I can also do is lock this reference. So now I can't accidentally select those things or move them around. So that's usually how I kind of get things set up. And then I'll go to sketching and I'll add a layer here. And I'll say like, sketches 1 or something like that. I like to keep these things organized. I can turn it off if I get stuck. And then another thing that I'll usually do, if we scroll down here, it's kind of hard to see. It's right at the bottom on mine because of the projector resolution, but you have 2 default colors. And you guys probably know this, but on Photoshop, I can switch between those default colors just by hitting the X key. And so I'll leave the main color black, but then if I click on the white, I'll hit X. It's not letting me, I can't see the color. So let's, I might have to drag this. Oh no, you know what I could do? Sorry, I don't have enough resolution here. Okay, let me stick this in here, but then I'll drag it out. Or it won't let me, why won't it let me drag out the... Okay, there we go. All right. So now you can see the color switching. So if I hit X, it switches between the colors. So I'm going to take this white and I'm going to make it like kind of like a bluish color, like a light blue color. So now I kind of have like one lighter color that I can use. And this will kind of give me approximately, something where I can do like penciling and then use black for inking, just if I want to get a sense of that. So then with my sketches layer, I usually use two different tools. I'll use like the brush tool if I want to, draw some nice curvy lines. Or if I want something that's a little more sketchy, if I'm working through stuff, I'll use the pencil tool. So I can add a lot more to the sketch. And so now I'll start to figure out how do I combine these two parts. So with my cat, I kind of have this like big oval. So maybe I'll emphasize that. And then I have these nice big triangle ear shapes. So I'll kind of sketch around that a little bit. And then the cat has these kind of like little eyes. That's kind of fun. And then now I'm like, okay, how do I add the astronaut part? Like I need like this big astronaut backpack. Maybe that is like really big back here, and I can start to sketch that out. And then maybe the cat's body is like really tiny, and it's like that. That could be kind of funny. I can explore that a little bit. And then I'm like, okay, maybe, I want to play with something where I'm using the helmet. So I can leave that there. I can come down here and say, okay, what if it's a helmet and it's got the ears poking out, and then the rest of the cat body is down here. Maybe this version is a little bigger. I'll draw some arms, draw the body. It's really just like sketching and going through ideas really quickly. And when I'm done, I'm like, okay, that was kind of fun, but I think I can do better. I'm going to turn this off and add a new layer, and I'll start again. So this time I want to start with the nose. The nose has this kind of interesting shape like this. Where can I go with that? How can I add that with my new astronaut thing? Of course, I can bring images in. I can add lots of new stuff. So that's kind of how my approach will start. And that's really all it is for now. Just sketching, coming up with different ideas, moving through things quickly. Don't get stuck on something if it's not working or if it's not that interesting. And then once you do find something that you like, try like 10 different versions of that like really quickly and see like, does this feel good to draw? Am I going to be comfortable drawing this 1,000 times when I make my walk cycle? Because I'm going to have to draw it over and over again. So think a little bit about that, but also just explore these different shapes and different concepts. Okay, so in the next part of class, I'll go over the turnaround. And so what we'll do is I like to keep everything in one big file, so I don't have to like play around with different files. We'll just turn these off and we'll make our turnaround. But we'll do that next. I'll go over the turnaround and then submitting the project. For now, I'm going to stop here and we'll do some workshop time. And if you guys have any questions, want help with anything, let me know.